Hey guys, how's it going? So UFC 310 is coming up on December 8th, and there's not a lot of word about, what the main fights are going to be. We have Gane versus Volkov 2 and Evloev versus Sterling, but those are all fights that have been scrapped from old cards and been put on this one. So today we're just going to go over some of the matchups, as the card does look pretty dead right now. So I'm just going to put forward the matchups that I think and all want on the card. So let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, we have Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis 2. Dana has already confirmed that they are doing DDP versus Strickland again, and we have an idea that it'll be around December, January, February. I'm hearing some officials say December, I'm hearing some say January, I'm even hearing du Plessis' coach saying February. But what I think they're going to do is Strickland and du Plessis both, from what I know, currently aren't injured. And I think it's a big enough fight to put on the last card of the year. I think typically if it's the final card of the year, you want, a big title fight. And I do think DDP versus Strickland very much is that. So I do think that'll be a very good fight. And, let's do some little picks. I'm going to go with DDP. Again, I don't think Strickland looked that good against Costa. Like, don't get me wrong, Costa also looked terrible, but there's a big lack in aggression in Strickland's game now, and it's been really noticeable ever since the Uriah Hall fight. And I think it did kind of cost him against du Plessis, but I don't see him fix it because he didn't really fix it against Costa. So I do think DDP will win, and I think will win by decision. Of course, Sean always does have a chance, but I'm fairly confident that DDP will get this one. Okay, next up we have the co-main event, or at least what I want the co-main to be. Jack Della Maddalena versus Leon Rocky Edwards. Now, a lot of people think that Della would be fighting in February, which, fair enough, it has been a while since he has fought, and obviously arm injury, I get that. They're looking to get him back around now. They were trying to book him versus Usman in November, I believe, but Jack wanted to take a little bit more time. I feel like a month extra, I think he's willing to do, if I'm being honest. SHAVKAT's most likely getting the title shot, so I think it'd really benefit Jack getting a fight in the meantime. And Jack hasn't shown an issue, fighting near or around Australia cards, even though he's not fighting on the Australia card. Again, he fought on the UFC Noche card right after the Strickland Adesanya card. Like, I don't think he's too strict about getting on the Australia card. I don't think he's too big on that, which is fine. And Edwards has already expressed a desire to fight again this year. Obviously, wash the bad taste out of his mouth. Fair enough. So I do think they might lean to put that fight together. And early prediction, I'm going to go Jack Della Maddalena by, third round TKO again. Leon does have a tendency to slow down in fights regardless, and you're getting outboxed by and outpressured by Bilal Muhammad. And the thing is, Jack has a very similar kind of boxing pressure. He puts a lot of volume, but he's on kettlebells. So I do think that's going to hurt Leon quite a bit. Okay, so the next matchup we have Gane versus Volkov 2. I'm not sure. It's been a while since we've seen Gane. I see a lot of people picking Volkov. That's fair enough. I can't. Okay, the thing with Volkov is his last few opponents, Sergey Pavlovich, ploddy, stays in his stance, does not move. Romanov, ploddy, stays in his stance, does not move. Sure, if you're trying to take Volkov down and you're trying to, wrestle him, you can have a little bit more trouble because Volkov's takedown defense is getting better. And if you stay ploddy and in your stance and you don't move around, of course, because Pavlovich, Tuivasa, Romanov, Rosenstrike, those guys do not move around. And Volkov kind of relies on that because he's not the quickest dude. I mean, he's decent for a heavyweight. But I feel like Gane's footwork will still give him problems because, again, he looked pretty good against Spivak. Like, I'm going to be real, he's only looked bad against Jones and Ngannou, and even against Ngannou, he looked pretty good. So, I actually do have Gan by decision in this one. Next up, we have Movsar Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. I'm going to go with Movsar Evloev. I think Movsar's can just outstrike Aljo on the feet. I don't think Aljo's striking is that good. I think Calvin Kattar was just too scared to pull the trigger. Aljo has shown time and time again that he can't really get much offense going if he doesn't throw defense to the wind. And it's pretty obvious. And look, Movsar, like, again, I do think Arnold Allen won that fight, but he still looked good. He still rocked Allen. He still made it really, really competitive. And he, it did end up coming out with a decision. But I think Movsar is good enough to at least hang with Aljo on the grappling. I don't think Aljo is going to give him the same problems that Lopez has. I don't think Aljo is the same kind of grappler anymore. I really think injuries and just time in the game have really molded his grappling style to just be much more control heavy. So I don't see him, attempting too many submissions on Movsar, and I do see Movsar slightly out-wrestling him. If anything, we've seen Petr Yan out-wrestle Aljo at times. I do think Movsar can do the same, and I think he'll outstrike him. I think it'll be a fairly, fight. I don't think it'll be all that exciting. I think it's going to be pretty meh. But I do have Movsar by decision. Okay, so now there is... then we have Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes, except throwing that on the prelims. I don't care. Peyton Talbot versus Adrian Yanez, main card opener. It's a big, big card. Yanez and Talbot have already expressed interest in fighting each other. I don't know why it was on the Sphere card. Injuries, maybe. I would have liked it on the MSG card, but I don't think they're going to add that many more big fights to the MSG card. I really don't. And the December card is just as big, and obviously I think they'll put Talbot on a big card, and I think it'll be a really good way for Talbot to get quite a bit more spotlight and a much more high-ranked matchup, so I think it'll be very good. So anyway, guys, that is kind of just a sort of card builder episode. I'm just trying something new. Again, most of the fights are already done for me. We have a pretty good idea of what fights probably are on the card. I would have put Colby versus Ian Garrow on the card because I knew they were scouting that for December, but they're actually looking for that in a Tampa card in December, around the December 14th, the card right after that. So if Covington versus Gary gets shifted to this card, do not be surprised at all. But that's just kind of what I'm hearing. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the card builder. If you think that any other matchups are going to be in the card or any other interesting matchups are going to be on there, feel free to let me know. Feel free to like and subscribe. And anyways, enjoy the rest of your day.